Welcome back, everybody. Okay, let's face it, your dog can't vote, but you can vote for them. That's right, Election Day not too far off, and we thought it was important to let you know how some of your Connecticut candidates feel about animal issues. So please welcome State Representative Fred Camillo from the 151st Assembly District representing Greenwich, and we are so happy to have him here with his beautiful baby, Rudy, who is also adopted, a beautiful German Shepherd. And I have to tell you, Fred, I was drawn to you because I was looking at Facebook, and there you were, and you had started a campaign to help adopt another Shepherd. And I said, okay. That started me thinking, and I said, you know, here's a representative who's really into animals and animal issues and how important it is for us to talk to the viewers about who is representing us and what they are thinking when it comes to animal issues. So welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you.
Thanks for having us.
And I guess, again, let's talk about, first of all, Rudy, who is adopted, and also about this campaign that you started on Facebook.
Well, Rudy, I picked up Rudy at Paws in the summer of 2006, a few months after my last dog had passed away, and he's just been, he's really goofy. He's just been a joy, and I used to have two Shepherds, and he makes looking at him every day makes me want to get another one to get him a playmate. Yeah. But he's certainly been just great for me and for all my family and friends, and want to hold him up as an example to people that, you know, before you go and buy from a breeder, look at the shelters. And
absolutely.
You know, even if you're looking for a pure breed like Rudy, they have pure breeds, they have mixes. Anything you want, you could really find at a rescue station like Paws
absolutely.
Or one of the other organizations, and I encourage people to look there first.
Absolutely, and I know you started this campaign on Facebook for a German Shepherd that needed a home.
Yeah, there's actually been a few friends around the state that have sent me pictures and stories of dogs needing to be adopted. Some really close in danger of being euthanized. So we've been having some success with it, because when you post a picture to go with a story, then it
makes it really brings it home.
Sure, it's more compelling for people. Unfortunately, we had one incident recently, a dog named Buddy, 5-year-old German Shepherd.
Yes, now this is such a tragic story.
He had some issues. He had been abused, from what I understand. But he had been taken in for a few months by a family. They had no problems with him. Then another person had him for a few days, and he was fine. Mm-hmm. Usually when a dog has been abused, sometimes it takes months and months and months for them to trust a human being. Well, this poor dog only had 48 hours, and the woman had called and said that she loved the dog the first day. The next day she called and said, you got to come and get him, he bit me. The person who had placed her there was working in the city and had tried to get a rescue group to go pick the dog up. The next day she finally called and said someone was coming to take the dog, and she said, great, I just fed him, he has water, but he's in a cage now, so he clearly was not a threat to anybody.
Right.
A few minutes later, that's when the call came from the boyfriend and saying that he had shot the dog. We're certainly going to look into now laws in the state of Connecticut for animal abuse and for cruelty. And if it's a misdemeanor, we need to make it a felony like it is in a lot of states.
So this is something you're pushing for, because I know there are other states that are really pushing against abusers, you know, to really like up those times that maybe their prison terms or, you know, fines or and so, yes, so that's very important. So that's something you're working on. Let's talk about the tethering. That's something that passed. So for folks don't know, that is tying up a dog 24/7.
Yes, it's a few things. The dog has to have at least 8 feet to be able to walk around. What type of chain you're tying him up with. You see some dogs are just, they have these spikes in them, and it's like 3 feet, and it's 20.
It's horrendous.
Well, you'll see that in the city sometimes where they're raising them to fight. So that's what this was aimed at. This wasn't aimed at somebody who runs to the store and leaves their dog out for an hour and a half.
That's the tethering, that passed. Yes. The other one is the lemon law. What is that, Fred?
The pet lemon law, which is probably not the greatest name in the world because it seems like it's a commodity, a thing. But that was basically to deal with dogs being imported into the state from puppy mills. Now they have to have a certificate of origin in a pet shop within 10 feet of the cage. It also says to deal with the ones in state, that if something happens within 6 months of the dog being adopted and it's a congenital defect, the pet's license shop owner has to either give you a new dog or pay for all.
Well, that's important, because that does happen, and we've had folks, you know, here that have talked about that. You have to speak for them, so you can write Fred, you can find Fred, you can give him a call, let him know how you feel, and also we're going to provide some numbers of other representatives in general, so you can give them a call, find out what is pending and how you can make a difference on Election Day. So Fred, thank you. I applaud you. You really have done some wonderful work, and you continue to. We'll be right back.